Aha! We have returned once more. Let us find out if Gemini survives the freaking crazy 88 fight pit we've got going on right now.
Yeah. All right.
If
I,
that's what we're doing, Andrew, you
Yeah,
GM.
if that's who's acting first. I mean, it's like tempo can go to either of you. I'm fine.
I think I'll give the tempo to Sean because I think the scene just plays on in my case.
Yeah, we can kind of let that one roll ride, if you want, and it's just like y'all keep duking it out there. Um, if we're more interested in seeing what Aquila and Raven talk about,
Oh, absolutely.
because yeah, the last thing they said was like, yeah, I don't even get to see the world I'm creating.
Mm.
So maybe we'll pick up there, and they're just like, what does the future I make look like?
Not worth the effort you're putting into it. There are no promises that will be kept. You say you're not magical. It's, in some ways, that's lucky. This is a burden, and you don't need it. I'm trying to think. And then I stab her.
Is this your impassioned like plea to her or to them
or
rather?
to them, yeah. So I say to them, it's like you don't need to be a part of this. There's You're being lied to. Tell me where Scorpio is, and you can go, and you can be free of all this.
Cool. So it went from like you angling towards a confess to now you angling more, I feel like, towards an express where you're trying to get them to do something for you.
Yep, I guess so. I'm gonna push myself here. It feels appropriate.
Mm-hmm.
Does anyone want to assist? I don't think anyone's in a position to assist me, but I'm willing to hear an argument if someone wants to give me another die.
I can always have assisted you by planning something, perhaps. Um,
And like by all means, Corvus could like swoop down to this part of the overall.
I'm too busy recovering from my bruised ego. Um,
I mean, that's the thing. If you help Aquila, you have to roll for Eclipse again.
yeah, but if I help without needing stress, which I can do,
Yes, that is fine. But
then we're good. So you're talking to them about surrendering, basically.
I'm trying to get them to surrender. I'm trying mostly to get some info about Scorpio.
One thing I'm just going to put out there just to like provide a better visual of what's going on. Like Raven, you can't see their face. They also have the weird like mirror face thing going on.
Sure.
And they're like everyone here is wearing these like hooded cloaks, and very fancy like double-breasted vests and like high society kind of garb.
Yeah, so, flashback to that same dialogue we were having earlier, in the past, about these are the people you need to know, and have the same sort of thing be said that's like appeal to their sense of cowardice. Let them run away. But Damn. Maybe that'll give you something. They don't want to fight you. Not directly.
Okay.
Like memory flash and then cut back to present. Give you a die.
Yeah, and it's like just another slice of that same conversation, right?
Okay, so time to express. What is my position and effect here?
I feel like you're in a risky position.
Hooray.
Is your future knowledge coming into it?
I don't
feel like
I don't
really
feel it
does.
is. No, I personally don't feel it is here. I'm just
because you're kind of
this plea.
dismissing all the future stuff, being like, yeah, no, you don't want that. There's no promises of that happening. Like, just leave. Just give me what I want and leave. So yeah, your effect is limited.
Limited. Oh, that's not good.
I don't know. You're not like supernaturally persuasive.
It's true. One day. All right, so I get 2 extra dice. I get 2 dice here. And
well, you know what? Actually, no, you totally are supernaturally persuasive. You're fucking transcended. Yeah, you can have standard effect.
Woohoo! Thank you.
Because they have strength in numbers, but
They're mundane.
yeah, exactly.
All right, so I'll take standard effect. And again, just to be fair, I did roll a 5 on a desperate earlier, so keeping that in mind.
I am keeping that fully in mind. Although really I should just put this clock on here. Yeah, it's gonna be the 6 count here.
Oh, boy.
It's advanced 2. Anyways, carry on with your day.
I got a 5.
Okay, great. What is this clock exactly? This is
So many clocks on the go currently.
yeah. I think there is this idea of the like information you're needing or you came here to look for, like this opportunity being lost. I think that's what this clock is going to represent.
Oh.
And you got a 5. So bloop bloop. Yeah, Raven kind of like scowls at you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they don't have a face, so you can't see that.
Yeah.
Their body language changes though. They like cross their arms, I think.
Okay.
And they just say like, "You've come here. You've said your part. You can all leave. We have our business here, though. Won't have you interrupting it."
Ooh.
And they like turn to like look back at the brawl that's happening, and then back to you and just say, "You call off your goons, and I'll call off mine. Simple."
Was I just referred to as a goon?
Yeah. You're welcome to hear this conversation if you want to, Corvus.
Yeah.
If you want to take offense, by all means, inject yourself into this situation.
Da, 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 da. All right. Do you want to do that, Elf?
I'm gonna like land in front of Raven if I can, like at the like
Yeah,
call
sure.
off your goons and we'll call off yours. Just like the cloak sort of settles around me, and just like stick a finger in their face and be like, I am not a goon. I'm done with that. Personal.
Yeah, and their head tilts, and they're just like, "I do so miss working with you."
Of course.
Do you want to back up these statements with anything, Corvus, or is this just hollow talk?
Excuse me.
Was Aquila gonna say something there?
No, I think I mean I might just be like, Corvus, now is not the time.
Oh.
We're not going into that right now.
But she like flourish cloak, turn around, like head off towards Gemini to try and help. Like there's still fighting going on.
So is that how we're going to resolve this situation?
There's definitely a bit of like frustrated noise making, but like no words. Just I like.
Are you gonna like take out your frustration on these
Yeah,
assembled cult
I'm gonna
members?
go take my frustration out on some cult members by like throwing them over my shoulder, or kicking them directly in the face, those kinds of things.
Damn.
Okay, so maybe both you and Gemini can do some kind of role, like one helping the other,
Yeah.
to fight off the last of these, to get the last of the fight out of these cult members.
Hey, Corvus. Could
Hey,
use some wings or some feathers or some anything. Where did you all go?
it's
Arrows? Anything?
And we see like one of the goons get like launched in the air by a strike from Gemini and just and then like fall on two of their buddies, and like you can
Like,
kind of see them on the other side of this.
I imagine
brawl.
seeing this scene from the outside.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you
exactly.
see like
over
bodies
the shoulders.
flying, but just
We-
the voice rings out.
we are not doing that again. Never again. Like,
Would be really useful. Just one hand. One hand is all I need.
I will help, but I am not. No, you're not doing that thing where you absorb me or whatever. It's
And this
not gonna
whole
help.
conversation is taking place while you two are fighting
Yeah,
goons,
just like,
right?
Oh, yeah,
throat,
absolutely.
like throat punch, like in the middle of the sentence, like that kind of thing.
And they're doing the thing where they like get knocked down, and like briefly their like space mirror face like will flicker, and then they'll like gather their strength back up, and it'll like set again, and they'll like run back in. Like they don't seem to really run out of steam for fighting the way that normal people would when you punch them in the throat.
So,
So what do you
Yeah.
guys want to do here?
I mean, I will help you fight, but I'm not gonna fusion with you. It's not a thing that I'm gonna do willingly.
I'll jump in.
Yay!
Yeah, because like you're an audience to this whole like bullshit conversation that the two of them are having about how like Corvus doesn't want to be helpful.
Yeah.
So does Aquila just like step in?
I think she she
Okay.
does. And she reaches out a hand to Gemini.
And Gemini immediately takes it.
And I think like right before your hand touches Aquila's, she just
She
looks
pulls
at
it
you.
away.
No, yeah.
Jokes.
Too slow.
She looks at you, and there's like a sadness in her eyes, and she says, "I am sorry." And then yeah, I guess we do your move or what? How does this work? How does your move work?
Okay, so I had something really cool in mind for when Aquila and Gemini form.
Okay.
And we see the transcended forms of both Connor and Aquila.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You don't see any Gemini in these forms.
Oh.
Yeah, like the two of you just like
Like
go
they
inside
fuse,
Aquila
and Aquila is by herself, and there's a transcended Connor there for a moment as well.
Okay.
what does a transcended Connor look like?
Oh, God.
That's up to Sean.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah, I mean,
God, I'm not prepared for this conversation.
before Aquila came back, was Connor fated to be another of the, members of the?
Yeah, I think very like similar. Like I think Connor's in like a suit with like a sash, like a white sash, like a black suit with a white sash, and
Hey, Sean.
yeah.
Sean, is Connor Aquila? Not Aquila. Aquarius. Is Connor Aquarius?
Oh Jesus.
Did you like by stealing
Oh my
Aquarius's
God.
thing, are you now inhabiting the person that should be Aquarius in this timeline?
I think the answer to that has to, of course, be yes.
Yeah!
That's yeah, and
And I genuinely think that there is a moment of surprise and concern.
Oh yeah, it would be really alarming to everyone.
yeah, and I think there's like this like holding a decanter or whatever, and it's just like glowing with this like like, or there's this glowing like water bubbling within it, and yeah, and I think that's Connor, like just wearing a suit with a sash, kind of reminiscent of a toga, but more.
And then one of those like massive fishbowl like sherry glasses that's full of this like magical liquid.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Sweet.
cool.
Okay.
And you have a cravat instead of a tie, right? Like I'm imagining everything's very like silk and very sumptuous. Yeah. Damn. Fancy AF. And then what are y'all rolling here? What is the actual,
what is going
on? The
I think we're
that is
continuing
occurring?
the fight after like there's this moment of concern and they just look at each other and Connor looks down at themselves and it's just like, what's going on here? Okay. And then one of the moots jumps on.
Right, yeah, because the goons are just
and then the fight
whatever, get
continues. Yeah.
Yeah, so y'all are rolling Defy.
Yes.
Oh, so is this a group act? How does this work?
I imagine that this is
help.
you help.
I'm spending a stress to help. Yeah, that's my okay. So I'm at 8 of 9 stress.
Okay.
So
and then the question is me feeling alone still applicable to this role? I actually think that it would be.
Yes.
Because the way that I imagine it is that those two halves are not in the same body right now.
Right, and that's part of why this happens is because there is this like troubled feeling inside of Gemini where they can't like commit fully to just being one thing. They still feel separated from Connor/Aquila.
And I think Gemini, of course, like gets the backstory from all this at this point in time because
geez, all right.
Yeah, so it's definitely there's like a bunch of feelings happening that are getting in the way of you like fighting properly. And like I imagine Connor is like either Connor or either the Connor fusion or the Aquila fusion. One of the two of them is crying while this is happening. I imagine.
I imagine both. I imagine the emotion to be like
they're like
split.
Overwhelmed with sadness.
I think there's a moment where they both like reach out and touch each other's hands. Like in the middle of this.
Too many feelings.
Yeah.
Okay, but you're fighting stuff, so
we are, but we're fighting stuff, so roll some Defy.
Situation.
So this is
still desperate.
I think we're into risky territory now.
Okay.
Your effect can be. It was limited before, right? Yeah, so we'll call it still limited.
Still limited. Okay.
Yeah, you are getting help, which is great, but like
that. For sure.
It's still a massive, like it's a crowd of people that you're fighting.
Cool.
I'm assuming that I can't really help them already helping.
Yeah, only one person can help.
No, that's what I figured,
Yeah.
If you come in, it's a group action and it's a whole.
I wasn't gonna. Yeah, I didn't want to fusion, but I would help if I could. But if I can't, then I can't.
Well, you just got to be a team player, Corvus. You jerk.
Listen, I'm not so close to the team that I want them inside me.
Yeah, learning all your secrets and shit.
Yeah, I'm mysterious and whatever.
Yeah, look what happened to Aquila. All of her secrets got fucking outed.
Yeah.
So
yes.
I mean, that wasn't the goal, but sure.
God.
So go ahead and roll it then.
I already did. That was a 4.
Oh, you get a 4. Okay, cool. Great. Well, I mean, the consequence to this one feels really obvious as like an emotional consequence, right? Like y'all mop up the remainder of these goons, and I'll let y'all describe how that all goes. But this is definitely like level 2 harm, tragic sadness, right? Like just this
tragic.
This whole, because it is like a really tragic story. Like the whole tragedy of Aquila is like. This moment is like emblematic of it, right? In this like heart-wrenching way for her, and then that all that emotion spills out into everyone else involved in this fusion.
I mean, so I'm going to try to resist this.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a Moe resist.
Oh yeah, no, 100%. And the way that they're resisting is that like after the fusion, like this momentary fusion happens. When they go back to being Gemini again, it's an internal monologue of them trying to sort out all the details
Right, they're
and
having like
trying
a
to,
conversation. Yeah.
And I feel like Gemini is almost catatonic at this point. Like,
Yeah, because
they're
this
not
is just like all of these foreign emotions that you're having to process and like new
This was-
information and
yeah, this was a really rough fusion. Typically, you don't go
Yeah.
into the minds of people like that. You don't get flooded by every bad thing that's happened to them. That's not a
yeah,
thing that
it's
happens.
not what it's meant to be like. Someone neglected some of their emotional labor and traveled through time a bunch, and not pointing any fingers, but someone.
Someone was a bad person.
And then I would love to hear about what it looks like when Aquarius fights. Like a brief description of like the mopping up as well would be cool. But yeah, so you resist no problem.
Yeah,
I guess
so
Gemini's own core of strength that they return to is enough to like keep them feeling okay.
they're pretty in sync with each other. They know how to cover each other's bases.
I think Aquarius's method of fighting is just very like slow and methodical and almost like gentle, but there's just like a lot of power behind it. Like
the sea.
Yeah, it's like these blocking, like grabbing someone's fist and holding it for a moment, but then just like putting them on the ground.
I imagine it to be very like I turn your force against you kind of fighting.
Yeah, it's like kind of like judo in a sense.
Well, and you have this massive decanter of like magical water, which I assume features in like you like spray it out and it like sweeps everyone off their feet and kind of just like gently deposits them in a corner of the room.
Yes.
It's a very like lulling kind of fighting style where you just like drain people of the energy to fight you.
Yeah, I think that's a good description of it. So.
Cool. Well, that person is someone that you killed in the future, so they're gone after this fusion ends.
Thank you, Andrew. I'm glad we had this moment.
Go ahead and roll your resist.
Andrew, I love that you're like, please tell me a little bit more about them. And then once everybody's like, yeah, that's awesome, you're just like, and they're dead.
And that's not in my plan, but I'm just like, right, but this person's dead. That's sad. Like,
it is very sad.
So yeah, you need to also resist that harm if you want to, or you're just taking.
Oh, I have to resist this harm?
Yeah, and for Gemini, y'all reduce it to level 1 harm.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I would like to use armor.
Sadness.
Many questions.
Profound Sadness and I are close companions.
Yeah, exactly. You're just like your bitterness kind of kicks in and is just like, no, this is fine.
Yeah.
That's totally okay with me. So you can just not take it if you're using armor for it.
Chuck my armor. And I think for a moment, like when we come out of the fusion, like Aquila is there and she falls to her knees and she just like hugs herself for a moment. And then just like gets back, like takes a moment and just gets back up.
Yeah, like you almost cave, but then you don't and you stand up. Did you already roll your resist?
I spent armor.
Or no, sorry, you spent armor. Fuck, I'm dumb.
No,
okay. Yeah, so this brawl in here is over.
I never got to ask, but could I expend an armor to get rid of the harm altogether?
If you wanted to do it instead of resisting, then you can cancel that level 2 harm. Yeah,
I'll do that then. Okay.
That's totally fine. So the brawl kind of has been settled. I think I like that idea that the thing I described of like everyone getting like washed away into the corner, and then there's just this like big pile of them, and they're all just like, and
so like while they've been cleaning up the mooks, I turned my sights back on Raven then.
Yeah, what are you gonna do with Raven?
She insulted me. I don't take kindly to these things. And I'm right on the edge of my darkest self, too. Like, I'm right teetering on that eclipse, so I think I'm just gonna beat the shit out of her. Like,
yeah, so you come towards them and their hands are up
physically.
immediately. Immediately their hands are up, just like, whoa, because they can see your intent.
Yeah, like, I'm like stalking towards them. And
instead, their face stops being the mirror face and is just a person's face. Like the mirror goes away, and they're just like, whoa, and their eyes are wide. Like,
And I think as I'm approaching them, there's like she's saying things that are like, I've missed working with you too. Remember when we used to work together? Because I do. I remember a few things that I did. Grab, like...
Okay, so I think at that point, Gemini will call out and go, that's not the way you do things. Do not take your frustrations out like this.
Oh, please do. Please do.
And Raven is like lifted off the ground, right, by their like the scruff
they're
of
like,
their
they're like on their toes.
double-breasted
like on their
doublet.
toes,
Yeah,
sort of
like
thing.
yeah, and they're like, yeah, listen to them.
You're better than this now.
And Raven is like still pleading with you, like, Dark Future's gonna come whether I'm involved or not. Really not important, not worth your time.
Tell you what'd be worth a lot more of my time? If you told me where I could find that pretender Tyler. Like, holding onto the screen. You can feel it, like, tighten, sort of thing.
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Their clothes are like slowly crushing their torso a little bit, just like.
Aqua
And, you know, it's
is like
Victorian
looking very
clothing, so it's all
concerned.
wool. Yeah. Yeah. Do you want to?
Yeah,
Are you maybe perhaps trying to convince Raven to
I'm
spill the
definitely
beans?
trying to convince Raven to spill the beans. So I
And
guess
yeah, like the tables of this whole situation have changed now that all of their lackeys are like taken care of, and yeah, like their mask is gone. They're very like, woo. So yeah,
I guess
you
it's
can-
express. Because I'm using my words to try and convince someone, but it could also be embody, as in former henchwoman villain going to smack you in the face.
I think this is express.
I think it is express too, but
This is mostly about your words.
I gotta angle towards these things that I'm good at rather than the things I'm.
I mean,
shit at.
you can roll. Here's the thing: this is a blaze hack, so you can roll express if you want, or sorry, embody if you want to. I'm going to give you a different position and
different
effect.
result, obviously,
and it's going to lead into different things.
Yeah, no, I think I will express.
If
your
what this
words.
was about Raven respecting you, right?
Yeah, that
and
would be different, right?
feeling things about you, then I think embody is a much stronger sell. But yeah, in this case, you're trying to like get information. So
Yeah. I
this is a controlled roll with standard effect.
okay.
Like they can't do anything to you, even if
Yeah,
this
they're-
goes poorly, right? Like
I mean,
all their lackeys
she
are
is
dealt with.
transcended right now, and he is they are mundane.
Yeah, I mean, I'm magically stronger, basically. I have 0 dice in this, so
The thing is, Raven only knows so much. I would say you could get great effect if they like knew exactly where Tyler was.
yeah. All right. Well, let's roll and find out. I'm all right with it.
I'll push the help because I feel like playing the good cop to your bad cop was
Yeah, so you'll spend 1 stress.
If
to
you
help.
hadn't have said anything, I would have just beat her up, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have just been like, you fucking dare. Basically.
Don't you know who I am?
Yeah. Exactly. Don't you know who I am? 2.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
I tried.
so it's showing 1 die, and so you're rolling express, and you're getting help from Gemini.
Yeah, but it's only 1 die, right? Oh wait, I'm transcended, so I get another die. You're right. I always forget
Do
the
you?
transcended die. Do I?
No.
No.
I thought you had 1 rank. In
No, I
express.
don't have 1 rank in express.
Okay,
I've got
never
nothing.
mind.
I've got
Oh.
0.
So you get the 1 die. Great, then that is correct. My bad. So
So how does this go poorly for me?
I mean, yeah, they're just like, what, Tyler? That's Scorpio. And there's this moment of like, they have been talking about the other Scorpio this whole time.
No.
And they're like, I've heard of him, but he's not involved. Not anymore. Ever since that day, he's gone rogue. And so yeah, it's just like, and you can resist this, but like they just don't know anything.
I'm gonna resist, and I'm gonna resist by like,
Or they don't think they know anything, right?
I'm gonna resist by like tsundere resist of like shaking them basically and being like, tell me where they are, like don't bullshit me, kind of thing.
Yeah,
and
totally.
this is gonna put me into Eclipse again for sure. Like,
Yeah.
Yep.
So
It almost certainly must.
You could roll a 6.
Unless
You
you roll a
could roll
6. Or a crit.
Crit would be best.
3.
Oh, that is not
So yeah,
that
I
thing.
am.
Okay, so you roll for Eclipse again.
I am
as
in
long as
Eclipse.
as long as you're on the brink here, you know, the stress effectively
I'm still
goes away.
transcended. It's fine. I
And y'all-
can do it. 2 dice.
Go on, 6.
And y'all have been tracking all your rolls, right?
Then
Yeah.
I roll another. Yeah, I'm on my 4th. Transcended.
Okay.
I'm gonna roll another 4 is the best I can do.
Okay.
So if someone pushes themselves, they can keep you from succumbing to darkness.
I will push myself to prevent
Oh,
Corvus.
I was gonna do that because
Yeah.
it would put me in Eclipse, which seems appropriate in this moment.
No, it's okay.
Okay, fine.
Will it also put Gemini in Eclipse?
No, Gemini is 1 off from Eclipse.
Alright.
We're like
Okay.
all fucking super high stress. Yeah, so I shake Raven a little and like ask the question again, basically like, oh yeah, he's gone rogue. Where?
Yeah, and I think like Raven still doesn't know anything, but one of the henches speaks up. One of them's
Okay.
like, just put them down. I can tell you, I've seen him. And it's like some, it's like the kid of this group, like some younger.
And I like let go of Raven, and I like wheel on this person, and there's this momentary aspect of like shadowy crow red eyes kind of like flash, as she turns.
Right, and you like almost slip back into
it's
evil Corvus mode.
It's definitely one of those things where it's like, if you've watched season 1, that's like the really like nasty form Corvus type of thing. And yeah, like turns and looks at this person like.
And yeah, so this kid like pulls their hood back, and they're like a young woman, maybe like 14, 15.
Oh damn.
And she's like, I've seen him at his manor house, his family's manor. And then she kind of like turns red for no clear reason. She's like blushing.
In a conversation with me?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's some like, oh I see, kind of territory right there. But she's getting it wrong, because it's like, I know he's at the manor. I know it was because they were together, but Corvus,
But you're like, oh, I'm so.
Corvus reads it wrong. She's like, I'm so imperious and strong, and you did exactly what I said, and I can see that you're into me. That's how she reads it, like immediately.
Yeah, and she like makes eye contact with you, but then has to like look down, and she's blushing. And some of her hair like falls in front of her face.
So he's at his family's manor, you say? Then, I guess that's where we're headed next. We're going to get this pretender Scorpio out of the way. I declare my plans in front of all of these evil people.
And I think she's like, he never used to be like this. And it's like, y'all have like already turned to walk away when she speaks up again. But yeah, she's like, he never used to be like this.
What do you mean?
And she like, takes a step back when you talk at her, as if like pushed.
Oh.
Just, he used to be nice. He never would have done something like this until he met that Ben character.
And I take a step like way too close to this girl. Like,
and she's like pulling her
right
cult
there.
ring off her finger as you do,
Yeah.
and like throws it on the ground.
I step like
looks up at you.
way too close to her and like look the small angle down into her eyes. Like,
Yeah, because she's
very-
shorter than you.
It definitely like very too near personal space of an angle. And go, you cannot inherit the powers of Scorpio if you do not in some way merit them. Scorpio has never been a good person. And
She's
then-
like, who cares about the power of Scorpio? And she like, having like thrown her cult ring away, just like fixes you with this look. All you do is hurt people. And she like indicates her fellow cultists behind her.
I think in the background right now, Gemini is like picking Raven up and like brushing the dust off of his cloak, giving him like a small pep talk, like, yeah, you'll get it next time.
I know you're a good kid. You just need to get back on the straight and narrow.
Meanwhile, Corvus is perplexed by this small
Petulant young
person.
woman.
Yeah, it's this small person like giving her the like talk of like, you're all bad. And Corvus goes, no, we're good. The bad ones are the ones that you're serving. The ones that I used to serve. I used to be.
Well, what are you now then? Just washed up? And she like shoves past you to go to the door.
Why must you wound my pride?
I mean,
as she walks, as she like pushes past, I wheel around again, dramatic cloak, whoosh, and then just to clear, like, what's your name?
let me consult my handy name sheet. Let's see here. What is a good name for a petulant young woman?
I immediately thought of my sister's name.
Damn.
Her name can be Ren.
Ren?
She turns and she's like, my name's Ren. And if you're such a hero, why don't you go save Tyler? Whatever that is killing him.
There's like this awkward like, fine. I will.
Maybe I will be a hero then.
I will go and be a hero. Just you wait. Just you see. You'll hear about my heroic rescue of your friend.
And I think while this conversation is happening, the camera is on Aquila's face.
Oh,
What is Aquila feeling right now?
I think on some level Aquila feels Ren is right. Like, but
And then yeah, like we hear the door slam as she leaves, unless anyone wants to like continue arguing with this kid.
no.
But yeah, there's like the big ominous like giant oak door shutting sound as the camera is like tightly on Aquila's tormented, tragic face. Yeah, and I feel like
So are we
this
at-
can be the end of the mission.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Because we found out where
You like you
Scorpio
know
is.
We like send
Where
Raven on their
Scorpio
way, or something. We leave Raven there for them to figure.
Raven's
out what
all
they're
like,
doing.
"I'll get you next time, Gadget," and
Yeah.
we go
I
about our
mean,
day.
that's the thing. You never really destroy, henchmen or whatever. They just run away or regroup after you beat them up and then come at you again. That's the way.
It is the natural order of
It's
things.
the way that this kind of thing works. We're not playing the Madoka playbook. We don't murder them.
Yeah, like that's definitely the relation that I see between Raven and Gemini, just being like, oh, you'll get me eventually.
You'll get
So is Raven leaving?
No, this is like where they hang out.
Okay.
You like came to their clubhouse and roughed up all their people.
So do I get XP
For what?
for them not like abandoning the darkness?
Or you
Or
think
do
you
I have
set
to-
them straight?
Or do I have to wait for some dark fate to befall them before I get there?
Yeah, because I guess they didn't abandon it. Yeah, so like, I guess you mark XP because you mark XP when the bad thing happens.
Yeah.
And I feel like the bad thing is going to happen.
Okay. I'll take my
Yeah.
experience point.
Yeah, I feel like they're not gonna like steer away from darkness.
Well, fine. I tried.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did in my mind.
On that topic, you did nothing. You weren't like, hey, have you considered how this is a bad idea?
Sorry.
Or whatever. You were just like, tell us what you know. We're gonna beat up all your people.
I told them that if they didn't leave, it would be the end of them.
I forgot that we were horrible.
Mix me with you guys.
We're the good guys.
I'm not. I'm like a
Also-
bad guy trying to be a good guy. That's the difference, okay?
Um,
I'm like fucking
Sean slash Aquila.
Yeah.
This mission is ending, and you haven't fed anyone to the Dark Star Charybdis.
No.
So I'm going to advance this track by 2 segments, if that's okay
Sure.
with you.
That's
You're
like-
welcome to resist if you would like.
I'm good.
I'm good.
And as a payout for the mission, I have advanced the Discover Tyler Scorpio's weakness clock by half. I have also cleared through the 4 clock of the Return
Yes.
Scorpio's power clock.
Thank you.
Because y'all know where he's at now, which is what that clock was all about.
All right.
Lovely.
Entanglements or
Yeah,
difficulties.
Fallout and all
Fallout.
that stuff.
Zero stress.
So,
Yes, I managed not to fall to darkness, even though I was teetering on the brink the whole goddamn time.
I helped.
That loneliness, that crushing rejection was just like the most amazing way to go.
It was pretty good.
So, after every mission, the darkness continues to close in on the crew, regardless of the mission's outcome. The track advances by 1 segment, plus 1 more for each of the following criteria. The darkness's agenda moved forward, someone fell to darkness, or the crew came closer to its destiny.
I feel we came closer to our destiny, but I don't feel any of the other ones happened. I could be wrong.
Yeah, we're
So-
working towards restoring the natural order of things, which would eventually lead to the restoration of the second sun.
Yeah, okay, cool. Y'all are not very generous with yourselves, but that's fine. So then 2 ticks. So you're 1 away from this going totally
Hooray!
bananas.
I'm into
Did we clear half the investigation clock?
I think in this case, no,
Okay.
because you were looking for answers, and this rolls you forward into the
You
next
may
thing.
want to write something in about that, even. Like,
I will add that to the rules tonight. This
Something
is
for
helpful.
looking for answers one, meaning that you don't reset the investigation track or whatever.
Actually, here's the thing. Y'all got a bunch of progress on your clocks, so I think I will
We'll reset it, yeah.
dip half.
I was gonna say like either do it or don't. Like
one or the other, right?
it's
Yeah.
either true all the time or true none of the time, right?
Okay, so Fallout. After a mission, the crew rolls for Fallout. Roll dice equal to the current investigation tier and consult the chart. So y'all are rolling 0 dice.
I think Elf should roll.
You want me to roll? Okay.
You had like the parting words.
And then we're in tier 3. So this is like the most bad possible stuff that will
1.
happen. A friend succumbs to darkness. Oh, good.
What?
I think we know whose friend that must be as well.
Yay.
Is it my friend?
Yes.
Oh, is it?
Scorpio?
Yeah. It's Scorpio.
Oh, come on! Oh, dude.
I mean,
If you can't beat them, join them.
Well, I mean, he was already.
he already kind of was, and I think he's disappointed in how you've been proceeding about things and feels
Well,
alienated. And, you know, your shitty friend Connor came by and, like, talked a bunch of noise at him, and
God,
know.
Connor, how could you be so like intrusive?
Scorpio, like
and Scorpio, you know, like the like immediately springing to
Baka.
immediately springing to his defense when he doesn't deserve it, Corvus.
Yeah, right. Of course, problematic X. So you can go ahead and change that up arrow next to
Aww,
Scorpio to a down arrow.
the down arrow.
Welcome to
Yeah.
the land of having many enemies.
You don't have any friends. And we're in downtime. Everything's fine. It's great.
Yeah,
You can erase all your stress, and
I don't think Tegan and Giselle are going to talk to any of you guys. Unless
Okay.
you guys come to them.
my team sucks. My team
no,
is a bunch
I'm
of
actually,
jerks.
like I'm thinking about the darkness prompt here.
Are you
in darkness?
No, I'm not in darkness, but
Oh.
it's definitely applicable right now.
Sure.
Yeah, about how the connection you have within you is more important than all these
And
other
the
losers.
connection with others.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Sorry to ruin your day.
And so I think we have this this brief scene of after y'all have left, Scorpio, the original Scorpio, and Capricorn come into the room with all the cultists. And again, we don't get to hear the audio, but they're involved, and they are helping the cultists to their feet and plotting something.
Damn it, Capricorn.
Yeah.
They're a pain in the butt.
I mean, yeah, you could just murder everyone if you wanted to. Then you wouldn't have these problems. You'd have different problems.
Then you
though.
wouldn't have these problems. All right. You know what I'm gonna do? Okay, well, first we've got to roll obligation, right? Next thing. We're
Yep.
back into the obligation phase.
Another week at your shitty university together.
Fucking fuck this place. Okay, I gotta roll 0, resist. Because despair and heartbreak is just like my lowest resist, always.
And I feel like in this round for Amy, it's just even as Corvus, no one really gave much of a crap about you, and then you go back to being Amy, who people care even less about,
People care even less about,
and
yeah.
Don't even notice you, right? You're just dwelling in obscurity.
It's
and
true. I hate it.
filing books, and people. It's this whole week, people just bump into you constantly, as if they just didn't see you,
Like I'm invisible.
right? You're not
Ah.
even there. And of course, it's just no, they just bumped into you. Whatever, it happens all the time. But for you, it's no, it's I'm invisible. I don't even exist.
Yeah, internalizing it super hard.
So yeah, that's what your week's like.
What curse has befallen me?
Aquila / Connor, I see that you rolled a 1.
Yeah.
What resist do you roll?
I rolled Kudere.
Oh, so
I could
Yeah,
also
what's-
roll Sundere, but I think
what's
Kudere-
getting Connor down? Yeah, what kind of social pressure or panic is getting you? I mean, you just had this moment where you saw Aquarius again and realized that you're living inside of the body that should belong to Aquarius. You kind of killed him in this timeline as well.
in a way.
So I feel maybe the social pressure is actually coming from a dead person, right? There's all this guilt around how you handled your history with this person, and
Yeah, and yeah, I think there's one night where there's an astronomy class in session, and where everybody's looking through their telescopes and everything, and one night they're just well, so hey Connor, what should we do? And Connor's just not there. Connor has just left and is not showing up for work or whatever.
yeah, you duck out midway through because you just can't handle it. And of course, the telescope is pointed at the Aquarius constellation.
Oh yes.
Well, that's great.
Oh man.
Well,
Guys, I'm so delighted that you're all tanking these rolls as you're about to go into a mission that will then also tick you over into going into another even worse mission.
Yep.
Just thank you. As your MC, I just want to say thank you.
Listen, Andrew,
We're here to
We're
help.
gonna wipe eventually, right? Like it's gonna happen. Like things are gonna go shitty at some
It
point.
is inevitable.
It is.
I've seen it.
So I definitely roll Moe for this one.
By the way,
Yeah,
everyone,
you
next
just
episode's
have all
really
these
good.
other people's feelings.
Like
Just like,
other people's
ugh.
feelings, I feel like both of them feel abandoned.
And
Like-
don't forget murdered.
What?
It's like the Aquarius stuff.
Yeah, you were like briefly embodying this person who like no longer
Yeah.
exists, which is like a haunting and harrowing emotional journey, I'm sure.
Yeah, and like I actually think their grades slip a little bit as well during this time.
Yeah, they go from being model students to
Like Tegan comes in with a hangover one day.
oh shit. So yeah, you're just like struggling to cope with these emotions. It's like once the adrenaline wore off of being in the mission where things are like kind of okay, you then just like stew in all these feelings and it starts to eat away at you. Great. Let's roll into downtime.
Should we break? Do we need a break?
Yeah.
Let's do that.
We should break and then we'll do the downtime and then we'll be able to roll in. So okay, we'll be back in a couple minutes. Don't go anywhere. It's break time. Yeah. Woo.